G'day everyone, it's now day 3 of the Melbourne Boat Show. The rain's backed off and it's a lovely day down here at the Docklands. We have our frequent flyer guest, Michelle Brattain, back on the show. Michelle's down here with Worth, and who else, Michelle? I think you're representing everyone today.
Oh, I'd like to be representing everyone today. Yeah, I'm down here with Worth. I had a stage appearance this morning talking all things Worth, so it was really fun.
Awesome. And how did that go? What was the response to that one?
There was 3 people.
But of the 3 people,
because
I'm sure
it was raining.
Oh, so you're going to blame the rain and not your speech? I'm sure it was a good speech anyway. What did you actually talk about?
You know what? Just do it. We've got 45 minutes.
No, we did talk about women in wreck. So no, I can't speak.
Have another crack.
We talked about women in wreck fishing, but we also talked about spring fishing and our favourite catches.
Yep.
And kids fishing.
Kids fishing.
Yeah.
So what exactly is happening this weekend in terms of your schedule? When can people see you on the stage again, or is that it for you?
That's it for me, but there's Nikki and Kelsey are on tomorrow at the Dumbia stage at 12:45. Yep.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing that. What's happening with you today, Adrian? Are you having a lovely start to the morning? The rain's backed off now?
Well, we started off a little bit dusty this morning. We went and got breakfast and had a coffee, and I wasn't particularly impressed with the coffee, so I had to get another coffee 10 minutes later. And that one sorted me out good. I think Michelle was after a coffee, so anyone walking by at the boat show wanting to get a coffee for us, we'd really enjoy that.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Sash from Big Dog's Fishing Adventures has just come past, and he's offered to get Michelle a coffee.
Thanks, boys. Yes, please. Latte with one.
We're good, thank you. No, we're good, Sash. We're good. We'll give you some Mercury merch when you come back.
Latte with one, please.
There we go. We're doing coffee orders and people passing by.
That is the beauty of a live podcast at a boat show. We had a pretty big day yesterday, Adrian. We had Lee Rayner and
Andrew
E.T. on.
Yes.
I just realised I don't have my headphones on.
There you go, Dave. Yeah, so, Shell, you've come here to do a talk. Was there anything else you wanted to see at the boat show while you're here this weekend?
Well, considering Seashell's still legless, I'd like a motor. But no, there's plenty of good boats to come down and see, and I think they're even testing them out on the water as well.
Are you going to go test out a motor on the water today?
Oh, I'd like to.
Come on, let's make it happen.
What do you recommend?
Well, you know what? Me and Adrian are lining up for a shot at the Yamaha Helm Master.
Yeah, so the Helm Master is a joystick control single where you can actually control your boat by a joystick, and it acts as a spot lock, basically. So we're going to test this out. We're actually going to film it, aren't we, Dave?
We are going to film it. Quite a high chance Adrian might crash it into the pontoon.
Or a rower.
A rower, you reckon?
Yeah, well, if that happens, that's their fault.
Well, we're just going to be touching the joystick. There's no steering wheel, and we're going to try do everything on a joystick.
Yeah, no, well, I'm pretty looking forward to it. What do you think of that tech? Do you think it's going to be something you might look into in the future, Adrian? I know you love to be up to date with all this sort of thing.
Well, honestly, I think it's going to be a game changer. I'm sure it's been tried and tested where they're happy with it, that it's not going to break down, and because what it uses is electric gearing and electric steering. So I assume they've tried and tested this, and it's good to go.
Yeah, no, it'd be very interesting.
Because imagine deep dropping with your outboard being able to spot lock and keep your course.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk about it with Michelle for 1 second? I'm going to help with the sail over here.
Okay, so you need Shell. What kind
of motor? Talk to me about deep dropping, Adrian.
Deep dropping.
What can you tell me?
Well, traditionally when you're deep dropping, you're putting your gear back and forth into gear just to stay, in a drift line that you want to keep. And with this new Helm Master X that we're going to try today, it could be a potential game changer, because what it does is it uses the gearbox, which is electronic, and you're able to keep your drift line and spot lock by the motor just moving itself. It's incredible.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
so for those big tuna that you were targeting?
Well, not big tuna, but like swordfish. We're just talking about how it's going to change the game in deep dropping this Helm Master X.
Yeah, well, but what about your electric?
Well, yeah, you can use that as well.
Bit cheaper, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely cheaper. But for those big boats that don't want an electric bow motor, it's an option.
Yeah, absolutely. How's the fishing been, Michelle? You've been out a lot lately.
I have been out a lot lately, but I haven't been able to find the whiting.
Haven't you?
Yeah, they've been a little bit difficult down my way.
Do you think
But-
that's because of the floods, the water?
It could be. It could be that, or I've been doing really well on the squid, and I don't know. Maybe they freak the whiting out a little bit because
Yeah, probably.
they do like a whiting feed, and
Yeah.
the whiting can be quite territorial as well. So
Yeah. There's been a squid competition run down your neck of the woods, hasn't there?
yeah, Frankie's actually in it today, my daughter.
How
So,
exciting. Have you
Yeah.
had any updates yet?
I haven't had any updates yet, but I'm sure they'll flood through when she's caught one. So
Yeah.
she was looking forward to it. So she set up her tackle box and
Oh.
chose all the pink jigs, of course, and
Black magic, obviously.
yeah, black magic. Yep, and she's got the fishing show shirt on, and yeah, she's ready to
Awesome.
go. Yeah.
Awesome. So do you want to give us the details of that for anyone who's interested? It's probably too late, I'm guessing, to
For
enter.
the
but
PGF squid competition
Yeah.
down at Rye.
Yeah, down at Rye. So there's a few categories and prizes for all as well. So I think they had up to about 50 entries. So
That's
it should
awesome.
be a good comp.
yeah, well, there's not a lot of wind here today, so I think it should be quite a nice day out on the bay.
Absolutely.
I saw-
I reckon we could do a late night entry and catch the biggest squid out of Western Port, take it down to Rye and claim this PGF tour.
Mate,
Prize.
I actually wish we brought a rod and reel here because I've been walking around Newquay at the Docklands here looking at all the pylons and structure and thinking, gosh, there'd be some nice brim, mulloway, snapper hanging off there. I reckon we could have a cast on sunset tonight.
Do you reckon that's a challenge? We try catch a brim and Michelle's going to catch and cook it for us.
If there's anyone in the area with a rod and reel we could borrow, I reckon that would be a great challenge for us to try and hook a size fish tonight on some borrowed tackle. And I don't know if we'd be eating it, do you?
You might end up with a leg or an arm too.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we can talk about that one, but let's just say when we came down here to the boat show yesterday, there was a section cordoned off and quite a lot of police around, but we might leave that one there. You have to watch the news for that one, I think.
Well, we got Joe Bunn, the weather reporter, so I'm sure he's going to be investigating it himself.
Yeah, very exciting to have Joe Bunn on. He sent through a weather report to us, a weather report through to us this morning, and I think he had declared that the rain's going to stop down here at the boat show by about 11, 12, and here we go. What's the time now? And the rain seems to have stopped. Everyone's down here having a great day.
So you reckon we should listen to Joe Bunn for weather reports these days?
Well, you know what, Adrian, he stitched us up last weekend, didn't he?
Oh, he said it was going to be fishable, calm seas, Saturday night onwards, and it was blowing an absolute gale.
Mate, I went out on the snapper on the Sunday, and as I launched at 12, I didn't look at the weather report because I was like, Joe Bunn said it's going to be really good. And as I launched, a gale came up. And we punched around to Coronella there out of Stony Point, and it was quite a ride. I was in my brother's Webster Twin Fisher. And by the time we
So
got
it's
there,
just
she was,
basically a big square
it's a
collecting the wind.
I call it the Toyota Hiace. So we punched around there and got round there, and the wind was blowing the square boat so hard we couldn't anchor. And he's got my old anchor from the Edencraft, so it's a big anchor, and made it very hard to fish. But nonetheless, we got two lovely snapper for the tide there, and I took out the Wind Against Tide snapper tournament for another weekend.
For another weekend.
Another weekend. It's a weekend event, don't you know that?
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah. You went fishing, didn't you?
I did. I chased those Lysart giant snappers, and I caught about 73 kilos of weed, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed my life.
Yeah, there's a lot of weed moving through Western Port at the moment with all
And
the...
it was a surprise wind against tide. It was supposed to be wind with tide,
Yeah.
and I just had whitecaps coming over the transom of the boat, and it wasn't fun.
Oh, I didn't see Joe Bunn predicting that one on his forecast.
Hey, absolutely not.
It must have been nice for you to come out and be greeted with your favourite thing.
Now, someone's actually asking, Bo Alley, he's asking, where's Joe, the two-finger strummer? Now, where is he, Dave? Because...
That's actually Brock Alley,
Oh, is
by
it?
the way.
Okay.
Joe is out this morning doing his day job, which is as a real estate agent, and he's got an open for inspection this morning. So he's going to try and sell a house, and then he's coming down. He said he'll be here about 1, didn't he, Adrian?
I think so.
So you might miss out on Michelle, but
Oh no,
Yeah,
the exotic fisherman.
there, Joe Exotic, Joe Exotic, Joe Bunn. So Joe's going to come down. He'll be live on when we next go to air, which I believe is going to be with Michelle's fishing manager, Jason Taylor.
The Kingfisherman.
The Kingfisherman, and Nick from Marine Graphics Inc. I think is coming on as well. Have you seen his artwork?
No, I haven't.
So all the wraps on the boats with the beautiful tuna and marlin and stuff, he designs all that.
Oh, that's him. Yeah, okay.
So the guys down at Formosign, I think, work with him and put all the wraps on the boats.
But apparently the audio's dropped out on YouTube, Link.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we got some technical difficulties.
Okay, what do we want?
That's not fun.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Can someone tell us if it's still doing that?
Well, yeah,
Out there
two
in
people
YouTube
have just said it's just dropped out, so...
Hang on, I'll write on there. I'll ask people.
Speaking of snapper,
Yes.
the guys down at Mornington Pier have been doing quite well lately.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, really good size, and they're there every day.
Really? Mm-hmm. Same people down there every day getting
Same people down there every day. Yeah,
Any sizes?
Spot. Yeah, 5-6 kilo.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good early season spot down there. I think there and Mount Martha.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, even Martha Cove, if you can get in there.
Yeah. We've still got no audio going through our live stream.
Okay, I'm going to try to sort that out.
Okay, Adrian can try and sort that out, and we'll just keep going live here with Michelle. So what are you going to walk around and check out for the rest of the day, Michelle?
I'm going to check out a few boats. I like the Stabies. I like a couple of the rib boats down the other end.
Yes.
Yeah, they'd be really fun to get out in Port Phillip Bay and the heads and
those are
chuck a surfboard in and fishing rods.
Yeah, a bit of an all-rounder.
Yeah.
They ride really good, those rib boats. They've got the fiberglass deep V underneath and the blow-up safety ring around the side.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Yes, absolutely. Beach launching.
Yes. So you've been down at Flinders with Jace lately, I've seen.
Yes.
How's the fishing been down there for you?
Well, the last time we went, it was the long weekend. Thank you, Queen.
God rest her soul.
It was the most people that I've actually seen fishing Flinders.
Yep.
It was, so busy. But we did really well on the squid.
Yep.
I didn't come home clean.
Yep.
I found out that you can't get squid ink out of clothes. But it was a really good session. But again, we couldn't find the whiting in my usual spots. So I'm going to have to find some new ground.
Wonder why. I mean, like you say, it could be the amount of squid around eating them. So they are one of their favourite foods.
Well, I just think they're like the squid are more aggressive at the moment.
Yeah.
And they're hungry when they're spawning. So as I said, whiting are quite territorial and they'll find their own little spots.
Yeah. So I think up the
away
port,
from something that's going to eat them.
Yeah. Well, they don't know how to stay away from humans, though.
It's those flasher rigs.
Yeah, I know. It's those Reedy's flasher rigs that really get the whiting going, guys. I mean, we've got them for sale here, just quietly. I think up the port in Western Port, the whiting have been going really well.
They have been, yes.
Some of the boys have been stacking them on their bait boards quite nicely, 30 at a time. So
there's been some good size through them as well. There's been a couple of 49 centimetre ones and amongst the little ones.
Well, I'm not really sure what the spawning period is for whiting, but I think this time of year you do predominantly get a little bit larger ones, and then as the water warms up, you get those.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was from June onwards.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
With the sou'westerlies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I tend to find back when I did whiting fish years ago that you'd find more of the mixture of sizes as the water gets warmer there.
Yes.
But you're the whiting queen.
I do love my whiting.
Have you got any tips for everyone down here?
Well, I don't actually, because a lot of people tend to use a lot of burley, but I don't like to burley that much.
Right. Why does that keep away some of the pest fish?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just a little bit though.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. They do tend to like a little bit warmer water as well.
Yep.
And fresh bait. They love fresh bait. Oh yes, my coffee's here.
Just had a coffee delivered down to the live show. How good is that? Yeah. So where were we? Whiting tips. Yeah. So you just a little bit of burley often, and your favourite bait is.
Fresh squid if you can get it.
Fresh squid,
yeah. Otherwise, throw a pippy on there as well because I love a pippy treat.
Yeah, so a lot of people get the fresh squid, cut it up into strips, get a tenderising mallet and bash it to soften it up.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then it's more of like a pippy consistency. What's happening, Adrian?
Well, what I like to do, I like to mash it up in my teeth and then tuck it back out.
Yes, we did say that on a recent video you put up there, Adrian, where you just thought you'd chew on a squid ring.
Well, I think that's one way to get refreshen up the baits and get the juices flowing. You just pierce it with the canines and roll it with the molars, and it's good to throw back out.
Well, we ended up taking Caitlin out for her first squid fish when we were down at Port Arlington for an event for fisheries.
Yep.
And we said, oh, well, if you catch a squid, you have to eat the squid eye. And she's like, oh, really? Like, you know, you do the tuna heart, so this is a squid eye. And she's like, oh, really? she ate it.
Were you guys on the
I'll
drinks?
give you that.
Were you drinking?
No, we weren't on the sauce that time. No.
Yeah, I saw that. So you caught the ferry over the other day, didn't you? You looked like you had a good time.
It was fantastic. Yeah, it was a really good turnout. We had the fisheries science guy sitting next to us who had a snapper, a flatty and a squid, and we learnt a lot of good things about the science side of those species, which was handy. And then he handed it over to us, and we cleaned and filleted squid and flatties, and then Cara cooked it up. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
I think you went down to San Remo recently as well. Was that with Worth as well?
Yeah, so we had a tackle shop talk for the Bass Coast ladies. We had a really good turnout there, up to 30 ladies. Really knowledgeable session. Amanda's fantastic. She runs the San Remo Ladies Charters down there.
Yes, I've seen that.
Is that the fishing nana?
Yeah, the fishing nana. She's an
fisher,
absolute legend. Yes, yeah. She's fantastic. So fifth generation angler.
Yeah.
Fifth generation angler.
Yeah, and
so
all
she's
females.
She's got some history marks down in Western, I bet.
She sure does.
Hey, we might have to chat to her. She probably knows some secret
She's probably
spots.
caught some mega snapper, I reckon.
She does the blue throat wrasse.
Oh, yeah.
Commercially.
So she's got a rod and line licence, does she?
Yes.
How was the weather?
Remember
on
we
that
thought
day?
about buying one of those?
Oh, it was bad.
What's that?
Remember we thought about buying one of those wrasse licences at one stage?
Sure.
We did talk about it.
I know where
maybe
they
it was
are.
me and Brendan, yeah.
Where aren't they is more to the point.
I know.
I've heard actually from most commercial guys, they're a bit like snapper and stuff. They can switch off and be very hard to catch.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
really a sunrise and sunset thing.
Just under the San Remo Bridge, there's heaps of them.
Yeah.
Now, does she have to keep them alive?
Yes.
Yes. That is one of the things I've heard that you
So
have to
they're
do.
weedless hooks.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weedless hooks.
Is it weedless hooks? No.
Oh, barbless.
Barbless, sorry.
Yeah.
Weedless.
No, because
You won't catch any weed.
there is weedless hooks. So they have to do that as part of their license. do
Yeah,
they?
keeping them fresh and...
Oh, yeah, because the barb might potentially injure them and they don't survive.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I wonder how much they're exporting the blue throat.
Well, I think there's a big market, especially in the Chinese restaurants and stuff. They use them a lot.
Yeah.
So they've got to keep them alive to keep... I think the flesh goes quite soft pretty quick when they die, so I think that's why they're going to keep them alive.
I'd be very interested to eat them because I think, as you and I have discovered, that a lot of fish get a bad rap, but they're not actually properly looked after by most people. So I think something like a blue throat, I mean, obviously some cultures find them very palatable. So I think if we were to look after them in the manner that we do with snapper and stuff...
Yeah, you should bleed most of your species.
Oh, pretty much everything, I think.
And ice if you've got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you should kill them, very quick in a humane way and ice them, and that's the best way you're going to get good quality flesh, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, everything benefits from being looked after properly. So I think as part of your fishing kit, maybe make sure you've got some ice on the boat and then you'll get the most out of your catch.
Oh, there we go. Good talking about blue throat wrasse.
Well, that applies to everything really, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so coming up in the next few weeks, we'll be out on the water a little bit, won't we, Adrian? Now we'll be over the boat show hump very shortly.
Oh, yeah. What are we actually going to chase? Because I think Michelle wants to catch snapper with us.
Yeah, you guys have to take me out and snapper fishing.
We're very hopeful that we're going to get Michelle out. It's coming up to that time of year where generally it's Melbourne Cup weekend is when the snapper switch is
Which is
flipped.
next weekend.
So you can bet your bottom dollar after that. It'll be on for young and old, won't it?
Oh, yeah. Do you remember the days it was just like you get a minimum 10 6-kilo fish on a tide? Minimum.
Yeah. In your dreams.
What's going to happen with the Yarra water going all the way down to Mordialloc at the moment?
Not sure. We don't really fish Mordialloc.
We had...
I know. Well, for all those Port Phillip Bay people.
Yeah.
Well, we had Matt Zaney on this podcast on Thursday afternoon, and he was saying in his experience in Port Phillip, He finds that the really dirty water, like the brown water, the snapper don't really like to be in. And he said they don't really like to be in the really clear blue water, from what he's found. But they do that greenish tinge water, he tends to find is really good. So I'd imagine that a lot of them will push to the southern end of the bay on that flood water. So you might see areas like Mornington and Mount Martha and that producing some good early season fish.
Yeah.
As I think we've actually seen for the last few days. So maybe my theory is correct, Adrian.
Well, let's see. Go out there and catch them, Dave. Show us that your theory is correct. It's a challenge.
Right. Set me a challenge, eh?
What about a kingfish season this year? You're going to come and hang out with us at Port Welsh Pool?
We are. We definitely are.
We know the captain that you go with, Ace Jace. He's very secretive, and he might release photos minimum 2 months after he's caught the fish.
Like Mitch Chapman?
Yes. Well, Mitch is minimum 2 years after you catch the fish.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's room in Jace's boat for all of us. So maybe we'll have to do a 2-boat trip, or we'll take the Eden craft and all go out there. And Jace will probably have to blindfold us and...
I reckon we all go in Jace's little 445 and we all sleep overnight and cuddle in one side of the gunnels each, and it'll be fantastic and warm.
Yeah, well, speaking of cuddling, last night you forgot to book some accommodation, Adrian, and I think there was a bit of bunking in going on.
That was your first threesome, Dave.
It's funny because it's true.
Yes, there was a little bit of a boat show event on after...
Poor Mads.
Last night's pack up. Yeah, poor Maddie, my wife there. She really enjoyed that. Having the bed full. But yeah, I saw you last night, Michelle, out on the town.
Yes, I did have
Mingling.
a couple of social drinks.
Social drinks. You network a bit last night, did you?
I did. How was that cheese board?
The cheese board, well, it looked impressive,
It's very
but I couldn't
fancy.
take myself to actually grab it because there was about 600 other people fingering that board, and I thought,
Yeah, no COVID.
I better not. I'll just stick with the bottled beer.
Adrian was a bit disappointed because they came past yesterday and promised that they had enough alcohol to fill our tent quite easily, and about 2 hours into the night, they were down to the VBs.
We didn't go hard enough then.
Well, we got to the bottom of the barrel and it ended up just being a couple of green meanies, and I said, you know what, that's good enough. And I think Dave Meehan and his wife go, oh, this brings back memories, doesn't it?
Being the common man, like he's just really drinking the common man's drink, which is the VB. And you were too. I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah. I actually used to enjoy the VV back in the day.
Yeah, right.
When you're 18 and
If you're
around.
an 80s kid, you're pretty much brought up on it from the age of 2.
Oh, yeah. Sneaking into Dad's beer fridge and stealing beers when you're about 15.
Oh, Dave.
It's
is
a rite
that
of
what you
passage,
did?
isn't it? Yeah. You didn't do that? I reckon you did. Hey, we've got plenty of merch still in our stand, don't we? We've got Maddie manning the till. And if anyone is down here at the boat show and wants to
Have a
come
look
and see
at
us,
how good Shell looks in it.
look at Shell. Repping the hoodie.
Look at me. Hang on. Gotta get the back.
Yes.
There we go. She's got the King Kong Donkey Kong.
That's awesome. Now we've got some stock starting to run out, but we are going to do another order very shortly once we've finished at the show here. So we will be able to sort everyone out down the track, won't we, Adrian?
Absolutely. So when do you start kingfishing, Shell? When are you actually going to start? Because or is it too
Well,
secret to talk about?
No, December or even November. It just depends on the season. We've had such strange seasons for all species this year. It's, but usually December.
Okay.
Is, when the water starts warming up a bit. They do like that 22-degree temp or
That's the temp you guys like, is it?
clear blue water.
Well, I have seen what Ace Chase does. He's got his clear perspex
He does.
covering
He's still
his
got the times from
his
last
screen,
time.
and every time he catches a kingfish, he dots the water temp. So he's got a whole list of water temps on his little perspex screen.
Oh, that's very interesting.
It is, and I go, "What are all these numbers, Jace?" He goes, "Oh, water temps when I've caught,"
Yeah.
and he goes, "I swear by it."
Yeah, well, Seal Rock didn't reach anywhere over 18 degrees this season. So,
Yeah.
and there was so many more seals at Seal Rock.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, it's been quiet. They've been breeding like mad.
Yeah, COVID. That's what you do.
Yes, proof.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but no, they do like those warmer temperatures.
Yeah.
And it had been harder to find slimies as well for bait.
Yeah, so what you normally do traditionally out there, you go to the football ground and you just drift until you find the slimies.
Well, yeah, that's we did try that.
So the earliest I have ever caught kingfish locally off, actually this was down at Cape Lip Trap, was mid-December. So, and I know good friends have had really good sessions on them even in November down there at the prom. So a lot of people wait until the reports start to filter through after Christmas, but if you put the time in, there's often some really good fishing to be had early if you can tear yourself away from the hot snapper and whiting bites that where you get here this time of year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was waiting on Michelle to say that she's going for the whiting because the temp spiked. But I reckon Michelle struggled on the whiting in Port Phillip Bay. I reckon she needs to change ports. You need to go to Western Port because they're absolutely on fire.
I do, but I just love the aesthetics of Port Phillip Bay, the blue water and the islands and the...
Like we fish in mud, basically.
yeah.
I got to say, I was a bit depressed the other day driving in mud water, dodging trees and things. I look forward to when it clears up a little bit and makes it feel a little bit more tropical, you know what I mean?
Oh, mate, I can't wait for those summer days where it's just beautiful and warm, blue water. Because even in Western Port, the water gets actually quite clean and nice
Yeah, it
in
does.
the summer. Because you just get the blue water pushing in through the entrances and it's beautiful.
Yeah. What's your major fishing goals, Adrian, for this season? I know you want to get your little boat up and get a blue water.
Yeah, I need to get a striped marlin on it.
A marlin?
Yeah, that was the goal when I bought the boat, was to get a striped marlin on it. And I think I'll do that this summer.
I think you can definitely do that.
Whereabouts?
Oh, look, Burmy, Eden. Yeah. We've done it on tinnies before, haven't we, Dave?
We have. It's quite an accessible fishery up there. It's only about 18 kilometres to the shelf.
At Burmy it is. At Eden it's about 30, 40.
Yeah. But on a calm day, that's not a problem. I mean, we run a lot further than that here for tuna. So
Exactly. And in rough weather. So I don't see why we can't do it.
So that's your major goal for the season, is it?
Absolutely.
And what techniques do you think you're going to deploy?
Look, I do love switch method.
Yeah?
I'll probably live bait because it's easier.
Okay. How do you go about switching a marlin out of a tinny?
Well, if you've got a 2-rod spread,
Yep.
which isn't ideal for switching because you want as much teasers as possible,
Yeah.
you'd probably need a couple of people on the boat if you're going to switch. But
Yes.
it's probably the most visual, exciting way you can catch a marlin.
Yeah. So basically, you're towing a couple of teasers through the water.
Yeah,
out
big
on the
lures
shelter.
without hooks. Like you can have like 20-inch skirts if you want, and they'll come up to that.
Yeah, and you're keeping a keen eye out, and you're looking for that lit up dorsal fin, which is quite
Yeah.
a sight to see.
And
Come out of the water on the teasers,
Yeah.
and then you got to see it first of all.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they actually pull drag off your teaser because they've grabbed it, and then when they've done that, you literally just wind it as close to the boat as you can, and then you just throw a bait to it, and it'll literally go and then it'll
Yes.
eat your hook, turn, and you set the drag, and you're on.
It's remarkable how aggressive an angry marlin is when you get on a teaser. Sometimes it's quite hard to switch them off the teaser onto the bait because they just want to kill the thing that's trying to get away from them. So one of the most visual forms of fishing, but can be a little bit of a challenge out of a 4.2 metre tinny where you're quite low to the water. You kind of want to be in the big 50-footers with the towers because
Exactly. You can see everything on those
But they
boats.
do it in WA, okay?
Yeah, in a little
a few
tinny.
crazy people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you can do it, no doubt about it. But you got to have a pretty switched on crew, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that time of year when we generally go up when the most marlin are around, it's one of the other favourite things to do is pitch live baits into bait balls.
Oh yeah, that is very fun.
You haven't done any
Sounds
marlin,
good.
have you, Michelle?
No, I haven't.
Are you?
That could be on my bucket list.
Hey, it's probably one of our favourite forms of fishing for a reason. I mean, you'll see a couple of seals in the water, and under them you get the ball of slimies, and you approach the bait ball of slimy mackerel, and you see these lit up marlin cruising through it. Sometimes 7, 8 fish on a
Wow.
bait ball, and then you just sneak in there, and with a tinny like Adrian's, you can go in there forwards, just
And you
drift
pitch
in,
off the front.
pitch a live bait in there, and you just watch them eat it. It's
It literally, you're diving over them and you can see them, like they're only a metre down, and you literally see it eat your bait, and you can go, don't set the hook yet, don't set the hook now, it hasn't swallowed it, and you literally see him swallow it, and you
Oh,
go,
wow.
don't do anything yet, he hasn't turned. Then as soon as he swims down, that's when you set the hook, and the hook ends up in the corner, and you've got the best hook up ever.
Yeah, what terminal tackle are you running when you're doing this?
Just
Whatever I tie?
No, 2 to 250 pound fluoro, and you want just a 9.0 to 11.0 Mutu hook.
Yeah, you like the owner, Michelle won't like
Yes.
this. The owner mutus are pretty. I use the Tenno
Yeah.
on 200-pound trace, and you fling a bait in there and you hook up and watch the spectacular aerials that carry on as the. That's why they're the king of the game fish, isn't it? Like just something that comes out of the water like that. It's special to see.
Well, I think Michelle would. You've sold it to her. She wants to come
So
up
is this
with
a wind
us.
against tide trip or?
Yeah, funded from boat show proceeds. So everyone, if you want to come in and support us, you can get Michelle up on her first marlin. But the thing we want to do is get Adrian's drone. Get some
Yes.
sweet drone footage. Let a marlin spear it.
Absolutely, I would do that. No, well, this year, it's not about catching fish for me. It's about trying to film it in, some of the most spectacular ways you can ever see these fish. Because it's easy to turn a camera on, that's fixed, but you're not filming it in its full potential.
Yeah.
Like before it's eating the lure or before it's eating the bait. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I want to
David
film.
Attenborough style.
Yeah, basically.
And I'll do the catching.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good deal.
Well, I've caught plenty of marlin in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about numbers.
No. And, I want to step back a bit this year and actually concentrate on the filming.
Yeah.
And that's one of my goals this year. So,
Very exciting.
yeah.
So coming up on your WRF calendar, Michelle, have you got many events coming up over summer?
Fisheries goes a little bit quiet in the next month because of the election.
Okay. We don't want to upset anyone.
So I don't think our next one's until January, which is the Portland, Hooked on Portland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
January. Okay, so good time for kingfish down there, the school bluefin, and all the bottom species.
Yep.
So you're going to get time to have a fish down there as well? Or,
Yeah,
or work?
absolutely. Well, last time I went out with Lee Rayner and we targeted Mulloway, but unfortunately we didn't have any bait on us. We were just flicking lures and marked some really good fish up. So I'm hoping to tap into that again.
So that's in the Glenelg River.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, it's an awesome system, isn't it?
It's great. Yeah.
Is that the first time you've been there?
It is. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, full of bream, estuary perch, and probably one of the most healthy mulloway systems in the state. Well, actually, is it still in Victoria? Yeah, it's just in Victoria.
I think it's SA rules there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So,
Because they own that river system, I think, that Nelson River system. You know how, like, the Murray's not ours? It's New South Wales? I think it's the same,
okay.
Yeah.
So you need your passport.
basically, yeah.
Right, yeah, so that time of year should be the school bluefin and the kingfish down there at Portland as well for the offshore fishermen.
I'm actually looking forward to December this year because I want to cast at these school bluefin again because I love that. I know you're not into that, Dave.
Oh, they're good
No,
fun.
I love it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are.
What are you talking about?
Oh, because it's not a big giant thing, but
I love that. Popping for the bluefin.
Because when they're just milling on the surface, they're just circling, and you got about 30 schools to pick from. And visually, I don't know if you've seen my drone footage before, but it is seriously spectacular.
I was just going to mention that footage you took the day that me and you and Joe went down. If anyone hasn't seen that, it's on the Wind Against Tide YouTube page. It's pretty spectacular. Just thousands of black backing bluefin spiraling around on the spot. And we were chucking every lure we had in the box at them and they wouldn't eat it.
And then you throw a pilchard out. And, oh, hello.
Yeah, well, we didn't have any pilchards, but that probably would have been a good idea. But what we ended up doing that day was putting on a spreader bar. So,
Yes.
For those people that don't know what a spreader bar is, it's basically a teaser and a teaser with a lure on the back. And for some reason, that seems to fire them up when the lures don't. So, little tuna tip for you.
Yeah, can't wait to do that, Dave.
Yeah, awesome.
I think that's basically wrapped us up for this interview.
No worries. Thank you, Michelle, for powering through our technical issues there. You've done a beautiful job. And
Thanks for having me on again.
guys are still telling us we've got no audio, but we're going to upload that separate, aren't we, Adrian?
Yeah, we've got it. Yeah, we've recorded it. Remotely anyway, so it's all good.
Tech Whiz, Adrian. Michelle's around for the rest of the day, I think, at the boat show. If you're down
Yes,
here.
I'll be cruising around. I don't have any other things to do. So
Yep,
come say hello.
If you see Michelle, go and say hello to her. She's an awesome man. But there's some mermaids going past. Hello, mermaids. If you see Michelle around the show, go and have a chat to her. She's a great ambassador for women in fishing and fishing in general. She has more knowledge than many, many people. Not me, of course.
That's very vain of you, Dave.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be, Adrian. You know what I mean?
Okay, there we go.
So what you got on for the rest of the day, Adrian?
Well, I think we're going to go cruising around, take some videos around, have a little bit of a break, but then we got some guys coming on. I think we got Ace Jace on later. I think we got Joey coming in soon.
Joe Bunn's coming in to give us the weather forecast as it seems to be fining up here at the boat show.
No more rain.
Charlie Micallef, king of the main stage.
Oh, is he coming on, is he?
He's coming on at about 3:30, I think.
So you want to hear Charlie's story? I'm sure he's got plenty to talk about. It's going to be great.
And tomorrow you've got a real megastar lined up, don't you?
Well, I'm pretty sure we got Mark Berg coming in tomorrow, so that will be great.
Mark Berg from Fishing
Addicted to Tackle.
He's got a television show that we've forgotten the name of. But anyway, he'll be on with us tomorrow, so that's going to be awesome. So stick around, everyone, and come and see us with some of our merch. The lovely Madeline is here. We're here. Happy to say hello. We've got some giveaways going on. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll give you some stuff and catch you all around.
All right, thanks, guys.